Pelicans. The Sports Den Show on once again. The Sports Den Show on once again. Saturday night with LSU. We got a great show just for you. We got a great show just for you. 678 559 9510 is the call text line with your host, David King. The Sports Den Show got everything. The Sports Den Show got everything. The Sports Den Show got everything.
Three-man rush. Randall. Stop. Rolls it as far as he can. I do not believe it. The Tigers pulled off another miracle. It was Avery Henderson who got it on the last play of the game. Now Warren Morris. Alley in motion, looks at his direction, and it's picked off, and Tracy Porter again, he's running free, he's going to go all the way, he's got stretch, it is a state touchdown, 70 yards on the return. Get ready to party with the Lombardi, New Orleans. It's already started, I promise you, the miracle in Miami has happened. The Saints have won the Super Bowl.
Welcome and congratulations to the 2009 Super Bowl champions, the New Orleans Saints. The pride that has made us proud. We have always been proud that it's the pride of winning attitude that made us proud. It made us want the nation to know who we were and where we were. And this is what you got. I'm still in the house to stand here to attitude to it. I don't know. Winning is the name of the game. They're going to see that fun together, and you're about to get it. All right, let's have the crowd. Let's go. Come on, everybody.
And welcome to the Sports Den Show, everybody. I am your host, David King. And yes, you know where you're at. You are in my den where we can talk about the New Orleans Pelicans. We can talk about the LSU Tigers. We can talk about the New Orleans Saints and, ULL, Xavier, Southern, Grambling. It don't matter. We talk about all Louisiana sports because that's who we represent. If you're not from Louisiana and you're watching the show, that means you're probably either a fan of a team from the state of Louisiana. And guess what? I got your exclusive coverage of all those teams right here on this show. Nope. This is not ESPN, a.k.a. the Extra Stupid People Network, where you got to watch about the Browns, the Patriots, Ohio State, the Lakers, the Golden State Warriors. You know, this is not an NFL network where you don't hear nothing about the Saints. Maybe like 2 minutes of content once a week. This is the Sports Den Show. We represent LSU. We represent the Saints. We represent the Pelicans. The teams that we love to cheer for. My boy Terrell Hatch, he said, let's get it. That's right, sir. That's what we here to do. Let's get it. And then you say, how about them Cowboys? Oh, Terrell, man, why you mess things up? Andrew Johnson say, what's going on? Let's see who's on the Facebook. Jared, he's in the house. B. Bennett Bass, he's in the house. Man, I tell you what, it's good to be able to do this show, and I just love talking about our team. But you know what? after today's news, kind of find out that the Saints are, now I don't know if it's true, but the talk is that the Saints are trying to put Delvin Breaux on a trading block. Joe Lawrence, what's going on? I'm going to say this about the Saints and the general manager, the coaches, whoever's in charge of player personnel. It's official that they have been dropped on their heads when they were little kids. It's official now. It is official. These folks don't know what the Hades they doing. Now, let me break down something. You're talking about trading your best cornerback. Okay? And really, it's a catch-22 here because of the simple fact that if they do trade him, you're basically left with nothing at the cornerback position. And if you do keep him on the team, how many games does he play? Well, that's the catch-22. Along with that, even if you do put him on the trade market, what kind of value does he have? Andrew Johnson, he brings out a good point. He says, I looked online, they cannot trade him being hurt. So what they would, yes, that's true. I agree. I actually forgot about that. So what they would have to do is they would have to wait for him to clear a physical with doctors to be able to put him on a trade block. Trailhead says, shaking my head, fire Sean Payton, general manager. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to get rid of Sean Payton, man. I mean, you just don't get rid of an offensive-minded guy like that. Okay, Jared said he tried to call. Call again, Jared, see if you can get through. But now going back to the Saints, I mean, my gosh, man. First of all, okay, so Andrew Johnson and David, they say he's on crutches. You know what? That's not funny. That's really not even funny. And here's the thing. The Saints put themselves in this situation. I'm going to tell you why. Forget the past drafts. Forget the past offseason moves that they made 2016, 2015, 2014. 2017 was the offseason for them to make it or break it. I told you this when I was doing my show on Spreaker. When I was doing my show on Spreaker a long time ago, I said this offseason is going to be the make or break for the New Orleans Saints. And I'm going to tell you why. Here's why. The Saints had roughly over $30 million in cap space. Okay? They had over $30 million in cap space. And here's the thing. You know you need cornerback help, okay? I got to adjust my hat for this. You know you're going to need help with the cornerback. You know you're going to need help with cornerback. So why didn't you address this offseason? You had the money. Now, granted, you wasn't going to get Odebayo or whatever his name was from Houston, but you could have went after Tremaine Johnson from the Los Angeles Rams. They could have went after Tremaine Johnson from the Los Angeles Rams. They could have got him at a price that they could handle. Not saying he was going to be cheap, but they could have got him at a price they could have handled. Tremaine Johnson is one of the, I put him in the top 10 corners in the league, bar none. You can't argue against that. Top 10 corner league, you get this man, you pay him, boom, you got one side of the field covered. NFL draft, you draft Trey White out of LSU, boom, you got the other side of the field covered, and that's it. That's it. It's a wrap. You got everything right there. You got the safety. You got a good safety out of Utah. Okay, Vaccaro, let's see what he's going to do. You got Klein. You got Okafor. It's a wrap. You got Trey White and Tremaine Johnson, your two starting corners. It's a wrap. But no. What did the Saints do? Oh, they just passed up on all the good free agent cornerbacks. Then they come right back in the NFL draft and got suckered into drafting one of the most overrated college prospects ever in history. So now, what are the Saints going to do? What can they do? What can they do? It's like they put themselves in a catch-22 situation, because you could have addressed all of this. You could have addressed all of this. Hold on a second. Let me see if I could see what's wrong with my phone right quick. You could have addressed all of this in the offseason. Jermaine Johnson, Trey White. Whew. I can only imagine. I can only imagine what could have been. Jared, what's going on, Jared?
What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm talking about these crazy butt Saints, and I almost cussed right there, Jared, but I refrained from cursing. These crazy Saints for not addressing the cornerback issue in the offseason. Now they're stuck with a cornerback is either going to be hurt or a cornerback they're about to be traded. The best cornerback at that. I don't know. I mean, there's a report saying that they're trying to trade the man because they're fed up with his injury. But here's the thing. You knew this man been having leg injuries. You know this man been having leg injuries. Why didn't you prepare yourself? There's nothing wrong with Devin Bro being a number 3 or number 2 corner. You go get Jermaine Johnson from the Los Angeles Rams. You draft Trey White. At best, you know, Devin Bro would have been a number 2. If he can't play, then he would have been expendable without hurting the defense even more. What you think? Yeah. I mean, that's the only way we're gonna get the Super Bowl team, get another Super Bowl team back for New Orleans is to fire the GM. I wouldn't necessarily fire Sean Payton because you can't. I mean, Sean Payton is an offensive guru. He really is. But I mean, my goodness, you give Sean Payton a great defensive coordinator like we had in 2009 when we had Greg Williams, you got a Super Bowl. But you got to have the players. No defensive coordinator. I don't care if you Greg Williams. I don't care if you Dick LeBeau. I don't care who you are. No defensive coordinator can work with the talent that the Saints have. Yeah.
I agree. They should have got Derek Barnett with the first pick and turned Trey White with the second pick in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, that would have helped too. Yeah, you're right. That would have helped too. You know, at least increase the pass rush. You know, you increase the pass rush, it makes your corners' jobs a little easier. You know, that's the old cliche. Yeah.
First one, that was a 4-year starter at LSU, locked down some of the better wide receivers in the SEC. You could have got him in the first round. All you had to do was trade up a couple spots, and you could have snatched him.
Yep.
And you could have had Derek Barnett at the first pick.
Yep, you sure could have.
And that he is going to be a premier pass rusher from here to for a long while. Billy should have got him. Billy's laughing all the way back in the face.
Yeah. Oh, Jared, man, you're funny, man. And you know, it's really frustrating because I love my Saints, man. I love my Saints to death. I'm gonna ride or die with the Saints no matter what. I don't know if Kaepernick can play corner, Jared. I really don't. I really don't. I don't know if he can. But you know what, though? You know what? You know how you bring up Colin Kaepernick? I was looking at a picture of Kenny Vaccaro, and I said to myself, man, Kenny Vaccaro favors Kaepernick so much. They really do look alike. They really do. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to leave the Kaepernick issue alone. I've been avoiding it ever since, you know, the politics of the whole situation. I'm just going to leave it alone. But, yeah, the trading Devin, bro, I mean, it's like if you trade Devin, bro, you're basically starting from scratch, that secondary, and you're not going to get much for him. What can you get for him? Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get anything for him. You're not going to get anything for him. So my thing is this. You know, just go ahead and keep the guy on the team. Whatever games he can play, let him play. If he can't, he can't. And you just got you got to get a free agent star corner this season. This offseason. You have to. I ain't gonna say a lot though, Jared. The pass rush from the Saints looked pretty good against the Cleveland Browns, though.
It is. I didn't get to watch it. If they don't have it up here where I was at, they weren't showing the Chicago game, so I kind of got to deal with, this preseason. They don't play any games around here, so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't even try.
Yeah, and still, I think it's still going on. NFL Pass is giving away free trials too. That's the reason why I got to watch it, because I just went and got a free trial for NFL Pass, and that's how I was able to watch the game here in Atlanta.
Yeah, I know this is gonna get brought up. I know you want to talk about it. Don't worry about Lindsey Scott leaving.
You know what? I was just about to mention it because I wanted to talk to you about that while you was on the phone. And you know, when I read that he was transferring, I immediately thought to myself, okay, is the success that LSU having at recruiting going to bite them in the butt? And let me explain myself. Lindsey Scott is leaving. That leaves you with three scholarship quarterbacks. Etlin. Oh no, four. Excuse me. Etlin, the guy from Texas, to play high school ball in Texas. McMillan. Etlin, McMillan, Narcisse, and Miles Brennan. Okay, so we know we're gonna lose Etlin next year for graduation. That means so far we only got 3 on scholarship. Who's to say that McMillan or Narcisse, when they see they probably want to leave the field, who's to say that they won't transfer? Yeah. Yeah, that was bad handwriting at that. But okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go forward.
I'm not worried about losing Harris, and I'm not worried about losing Lindsey Scott, because for one, when Brennan's looking, Brennan's gonna lock that job up. I think he's gonna beat out Ellen. If he don't beat him out before the season starts, the first sign of trouble for Ellen, they're yanking it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Brennan is that good. I've been telling you. I told everybody before they sign him. Before he signed, the kid is that good.
Yeah, he definitely is.
On the football, he makes his reads, he makes his progressions out the pocket. He'll probably be, I hope I'm right, he'll probably be one of the better quarterbacks that's came down the shoe in a really, really long time.
Okay.
Real talk.
Yeah. I kind of had to think. I kind of had to think about that for a second, and yeah. So basically, you might say, so basically, you're saying he's probably the best quarterback recruit LSU has had since, let's say, Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. Well, actually, I said Jamarcus Russell. Actually, the kid that in trouble that wanted Miles kicked him off the team.
Oh, Paraloo. Yeah. That's right. How can you forget about Paraloo? Yeah.
Was really good. But in college, Jamarcus Russell was the real deal, dude.
Yeah.
The boy can fly out, throw the football, man. Ooh, he had a cannon on it.
Yeah, he sure could.
But you gotta think about it. You lose Smitty Scott, okay?
Uh-huh.
Brad possibly taking the job over, okay? Then there leaves Justin McMillan. Justin McMillan is probably gonna be the third quarterback, okay?
Okay.
You got Lauren Narcisse. Lauren Narcisse is probably gonna redshirt this year. Meaning he's come off that injury from high school.
Yeah.
Probably gonna redshirt, sit out a season, and it gives you an extra year eligibility.
Okay.
Now, you really might never see the field, but if Brandon or Allen have success in this year or next year, I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole lot easier for LSU to recruit quarterbacks. Now, sometimes you're going to run into trouble like what happened to Bama. Bama lost 3 quarterbacks last year.
Yeah.
3 quarterbacks, all because that Jalen Hurts beat them out, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
That happens sometimes. But, you know what? Those 3 quarterbacks they lost were good enough to go to any team and start. Just so happens, none of them want to sit around and play behind a true freshman, you know?
Yeah. And I guess that was probably the big reason why those quarterbacks with Alabama, got their feelings hurt, because they basically lost out to a 17-year-old. They lost their starting position or their chance to earn a starting position to a 17-year-old. Now, I remember in the USC game at the beginning of the year that Bateman or whatever, I think it was Bateman that was the starting quarterback for Bama. And I think he kind of got hurt on one play or something like that. And then after that, it was all hurt after that. But you know what, though? LSU, and you're right, if LSU's offense flourishes like we expect that it's going to be, you can get any quarterback in the country to come to LSU. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Jared. If you're recruiting 4- and 5-star quarterbacks, let's say you sign 2 or 3 in one class every year, 2 of them decide they want to transfer, then you're going to be left with depth issues. And that's what LSU is going to be facing right now after this season, if they don't sign a quarterback in the 2018 recruiting class.
Well, they don't depth issue this year. If they don't sign one this year, it's not going to hurt them. Lauren Narcisse is only going on his first. He's got a red shirt. So that gives you 4 more years of eligibility after this year.
Yeah, but what if McMillan decides? What if McMillan decides that he wants to transfer? Let's just play what if. You only got 2 scholarship quarterbacks on your team.
Yeah, but I mean, Alabama faced that last year. You know, they're facing it right now. They only got 2 scholarship quarterbacks.
But that's a dangerous situation. That's a very dangerous situation, and especially when you got a scrambling quarterback like Hurt. If you got a scrambling quarterback, you are more successful, liable to get hurt.
I mean, it's an issue, but I mean, what can we do about it? You know, at least I'd rather have a few good ones than a bunch of bad ones.
Hey, I mean, hey, that's a good point, Jared. That's a good point, but I don't know. It just seems as if like LSU's success at recruiting can sometimes put them in the butt. We faced that with the wide receivers last season when we had 3 or 4 wide receivers transfer. We're looking at it. We possibly can look at it now for quarterbacks.
They transferred because of Miles. Miles was the reason why they
I think playing time probably had a little bit to do with it too. I think playing time might have had a little bit to do with it. Now, the wide receiver from Barb, and I can't think of his name right now. The wide receiver from Barb that transferred, huh?
The white guy from Barb.
Yeah. Trey.
Trey Quinn.
Yeah, Trey Quinn. Now, I kind of can understand him transferring because he was a junior last year, right? Or was he a sophomore? He was a sophomore. So he's saying that he's thinking to himself, okay, if I transfer, I might have to sit out a season. So that means I will still get 2 years of eligibility if I redshirt or something like that. I can understand him transferring. But the younger wide receivers, the ones who were freshmen, they looked at the writing on the wall. Yes, Miles did have a lot to do with it. When you only play 2 wide receivers most of the game, that lessens your chance of getting on the field. I understand that. But still, if you're a freshman, you still think to myself, okay, I sit down, I learn, I get on the field sophomore, junior year. But it was just too much of abundance of riches at wide receiver. Les Miles recruited all those wide receivers, and yes, he didn't play them, but at the same time, you're looking at your category class, and you're looking at the depth chart, and you're looking at you're seeing freshman, then sophomore, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I know I can work hard to beat these guys out, but I can also go someplace where I know I can be the number 2 man as soon as I step on the campus.
Miles, that was part of what got his job last year too, so early. When we lost some of those wide receivers we lost weren't no chumps, bro.
No.
NFL caliber receivers.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then we're 4 games in the year, you're 2-2, and the game has to progress. We're not hardly passing the ball.
Yeah.
The quarterback situation.
Hey, Jared. Hey, Jared, hold on a second, okay? Hold on a second. Hey, Trail, what's up? Hello? Hey, Victory.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on a second. I'm finna merge you with Jared.
Okay.
All right, y'all both there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got Victory along with you too, Jared.
All right, come on. What's going on, man? Oh, man, I'm just chiming in what y'all got going on right now, man, with LSU and the Auburn site.
Yeah, we talking about.
We was saying a while ago now, we talking about the wide receiver and quarterback situation LSU's facing right now. I don't know. My take is, man, I just looking at LSU program as a whole. This is my personal opinion. I believe they made the wrong hire head coach. That's just my personal. I think they should have got Canada, one of them guys to take over. I just don't follow the SEC, and I was chiming in with some of you guys were saying about the recruit and some of the players that isn't LSU the only SEC team that always have players transferring?
No, they're not.
Alabama does too. I can't think of no other ones that had top 4 or 5 star players that season. They don't have to say that. Last year, that's what just playing him. Last year, you had 2 NFL caliber wide receivers that left. But they're leaving because Miles promised change. The next season, they're going into the season, and these guys have already spent the spring. Then they see NFL caliber wide receivers that left. What changed? We're not going to see the
You can't base what he did at Ole Miss as a basis of what he's going to do here. He's the defensive coordinator in college here. He went out, he got Matt Canada, got one of the better coordinators, offensive coordinators. He said, hey, this is your job, you do it. This is your job, you do it. I'm going to sit back and take care of the little things. Y'all handle y'all's jobs. That's what Miles failed to do at LSU. That's what got his job. He stepped in too much, stuck his numbers in the offense, wanted to run that old 1940s run up the gut, smash mouth Big Ten football, which we don't run in the SEC anymore.
Yeah, you know what though? But you know.
I can't argue with that because that's kind of what I was arguing about the whole year last year on that point. I'm just afraid that we're going to lose that coordinator. I'm just really, and I like him, and I would have made him head coach. I really would have. I really believe the guy. Yeah, I believe he's the real deal, and I really believe he is. But let me tell you something. If Orgeron messes up, the offer will be on the table for Aranda to take the job. And like Saban, Aranda is a defensive-minded coach. He's very smart. He's very particular in the way he does things on defense. What I've seen him do for that bowl game, I've never seen any coach do for a bowl game. He changed from a 4-3 base defense and went to a 3-4 in less than 3 weeks preparation. Yeah, I agree with that. Out there can do that.
Well, let me interrupt y'all for a second. Now, you all have gotten on the subject that you know is pretty interesting here. If Orgeron messes up, now, first of all, let's think about this. Orgeron probably hired 2 of the best coordinators in their field. You know, he probably hired the best offensive coordinator and the best defensive coordinator. So how is that going to make Orgeron look bad? How is he going to mess up when he's just basically facilitating and overseeing things?
I don't think he's going to mess up. I think Orgeron learned from his mistakes at Ole Miss, for one. Number two, we took Ole Miss over back then, man, it was one of the worst dumpster fire teams in the SEC besides Vanderbilt. Yeah, and Mississippi State. Yeah. They was just horrible back then. So, I mean, what much can you do? You know? You took over after Houston Nutt had the team for a few years. Houston Nutt didn't do anything with it. And you took over where he left off.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, if he were in a bad situation, you know, that was a revolving door for coaches for a while over there. It was in and out, in and out, in and out. So was Ole Miss. Mississippi State. They were in and out, in and out, in and out. They finally found somebody that's pretty good at Mississippi State now. Ole Miss, I can't say the same. He was good, but, well, that's another story.
Yeah. So Terrell, so going back to the point Victory, going back to the point you was about to make as far as I think you were saying that you would have rather had Aranda as head coach. So go ahead and continue with the point you was about to make.
Well, it's like he was saying though. You know, I'm trying to build the faith with the order. I'm trying to. You know, you hear all the great things from USC. You hear all the great things and everything they saying. So it's like you want to, but then you're like, man. Could you even put out that faith there like that?
Okay. Well, I see what you're saying, and basically, you
kind of want to, you got to be careful with Jackson.
Yeah. It's just that I kind of see what you're saying, and from what I'm gathering, it's more or less like you're trying to hint at the point that maybe we could have made a bigger splash at a hire.
Yeah, we definitely could have, but I'm gonna give him a full year because he didn't have a full year last year. To build up what we needed to see. The Florida game definitely left a bad taste in my mouth, but like I said,
yeah, it sure did. You're right.
For a year to see what he's gonna do, and we can go from there. Another bad taste in your mouth?
What you say, Jared?
What y'all say? Let the bad taste in your mouth? That Florida game left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't think he didn't have a full man. He didn't have a full year or something. Well, you gotta understand something too. I'm not blaming that on him.
Wait, who you gonna blame it on then, Jared? He's a head coach. You had an outmatched Florida Gator team in your house. Okay, that's a good point, Jay. Yeah, Geist. I think Geist had what? He fumbled. I think the running backs had a couple of fumbles. Okay.
We leave that right there. Then Les Miles still has his job, man, because it was a lot of those players' faults and a lot of their ball hit mistakes that he fights. So we can use that. But
Good point.
For Miles' purpose too, because Les Miles big play, and a lot of his players were doing a lot of bad. So where we can go with that? Because you can see a coach, and it's the player that fumbled the ball, but that's the same argument Les Miles can make too on his behalf, because throughout his career with LSU, it was the players making them ball hit mistakes. A lot of them. A lot of them. Les Miles was unwilling to change his offense. His offensive play style is what cost him his job. Look, every time I see a running, throwing quarterback in an up-tempo offense, beat Bama, I want to drive to Baton Rouge and go slap Les Miles upside his forehead. And you can't get him out there on the field to beat that guy because you want to give it to you. You work horse in the backfield and work him into the dirt. Look, man, don't get me started on that. Wait. How many double-digit wins did Les Miles have with that offense you're talking about? And I said, again, teams did he really beat? Hold up. Then again, how many of those wins were against powder puff teams?
Well, I mean, well, you know what, Jared? You can't really. There were some powder puff teams. Hold on. Let me address Jared there. There were some cupcake teams, yes, but you also played a top 5 Oregon. You also played an Oregon State team right after Hurricane Katrina. Miles has played some great out of conference teams, and he's beaten them. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because when Miles first came to LSU, he was beating everybody. But then Bama started beating him. Then Auburn started beating him. Then Arkansas started beating him.
I mean, he was beating us up because he wasn't there. He beat it, the quality teams he had to beat. I mean, you say cupcake schedules. The guy had beat Arkansas when he was at their bench. He beat.
Yeah, that's true too. And you remember, if you remember in that 2011 season, he beat 3 Power 5 conference champions: Oregon, West Virginia, and I forget who the other one was, but he beat 3 Power 5 conference champions. Yeah, good point. Yeah, that's true too. Good point, Jared. You're right. Good point. Wait a minute there, Jared. Jared Lee had his chances against Bama. Jared Lee has had plenty of chances against Bama. He couldn't produce. I understand, and I know that there was a story going on about the team was divided between Jared Lee and George Jefferson. But if you putting this quarterback on the field and he still couldn't, and he's played horrible against this team, you can't. You got to go with it. You pretty much either a toss up or a gut feeling kind of thing. Now, what I would have did differently was I would have pulled George Jefferson out a couple of series just to see, hey, can Jared Lee mentally come in and play this game? But I do blame Miles for that, for keeping Jordan Davis in the whole game.
Okay? What's the point of having half times if you don't go in and you don't fix some mistakes? Tweak the playbook. Do some trick plays. Bama's got one of the best defenses in the nation. They're identical with our team. Talent for talent, Bama is right there with us. You have to out-coach Saban. Miles could not and will not ever out-coach Saban.
Well, you know what? Wait a minute. Let's hold off on that because we got the debate tomorrow. This is just a warm-up. We got the debate tomorrow on this, so I know where this is headed. I'm going to stop it right now.
Wait. Let's go on something, though, what he said. And, let's go on something.
Uh-huh.
What's the name for Clemson head coach?
Dabo?
He didn't outplay Nick Saban. The players outplayed Nick Saban. If you go back to Clemson play calling, said the players, basically the quarterback, stood in the huddle and told his players on that last drive, I got this. Let me get this. And them coaches believed in him. And he took that team all the way down there on Nick Saban. Because if it was just coming from the coach, you just answered everything. You just answered everything I needed. You needed to know for yourself. That's something Miles never did. He never had a quarterback to put his hand around him, have confidence in him, sit him out there, make plays to win the game. At halftime, you're supposed to make adjustments. He never did that in that last stretch of game. He came out with the same plays. Bama was lined up. They knew him. They knew every play in the playbook with that bench option. They were ready for us.
Yeah.
But it's hard to blame everything on Les because you had. I remember all of us screaming fire Chief a couple of years ago because he's the homie right down the Baton Rouge. They didn't even give Les Miles the credit for that loss. They blamed the defensive coordinator. Remember they fired him. They fired him 2 years later because this guy would make adjustments on defense. So it kind of goes hand to hand. You had a head defensive coach who was one of the greatest gurus. Alabama just marching up and down the field playing for me. Remember the year we had, what year we had Jeremy Hill, and he ran it for that touchdown. LSU defense couldn't even get out they couldn't make a stop. Alabama really ran down there on wheel. That's the year of Menberger. The year we had an offense, and the year we lost 2 years in a row. We lost 24 players to the NFL in 2 seasons. So how can we blame it out on Les Miles is what I'm saying. How can we blame it out on Les Miles if the defense that game either? That game you really can't blame on Miles. You just hurt him. We lost too much on defense. Even that Ole Miss game, the next following year when Ole Miss beat us, it was the same thing. It was the defensive coordinator's fault. It wasn't really the offense because they was doing their thing. So when we talk about the wins and the losses, Les Miles don't get how many coaches, but he didn't deserve a lot of.
Now let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt y'all for a second. And both of y'all are making good points. Both of y'all are making good points. But I remember this is a subject that we talked about on Chad Blumen's show about 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm a strong supporter of the Chief. I would take the Chief back right now in a heartbeat. And here's a point I made 3 years ago, and I'm going to stick with this point. If you can't score points, it makes your defense. It makes you. It makes it harder for your defense. It's just like in baseball. It's just like a baseball. If I got a pitcher who has an ERA of .50 and my hitters can't hit and score a run, then eventually, guess what? I'm gonna lose 1-0 or 2-0. There was a lot of games. LSU, Les Miles. There was very few games Les Miles got blown out in. Okay. He has lost a lot of one touchdown, field goal type games because he couldn't score points. The defense does it, especially against Alabama, with the exception of that year, Terrell. You're talking about, I think that was 2013 when we had Jeremy Hill. With the exception of that year, LSU always holds Alabama until it's always the second half or fourth quarter. If you can't score points on the board, I don't care who you are. You have to score points to make your defense and make the opposing offense one-dimensional.
It's like a debatable. We all got great points with it because you can't really lose on this argument basis. But
Yeah, that's true.
some things we moving forward with it. I got an argument with somebody last night. I'm sitting there taking up for Michigan. This guy, he flat out tells me I'm stupid. I don't know anything about football because he's an Ohio State fan, and I told that guy, man, if those 7 players going to be out, that Michigan has a very legit shot at beating Florida. Well, he's like, oh, well, their coach sucks for Michigan. I'm like, dude, if it's not real legit, you said you got a horrible, crappy coach, I'd take him in to LSU. You don't give it. Shoot. I think it's one of the best seasons to call it long this year after this season over with. I really believe New Orleans should be giving him a phone call, and I would let him be the GM and the head coach because
Who, Jim Harbaugh?
y'all were talking about the injury with Elvin Grove. I mean, come on, man. Ever since 2000, New Orleans had the worst medical staff.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
He's been on the team for 16 years, and ever since he's been there, every player been injured. And notice, every player that comes to New Orleans, they're injured from free agency, and everybody that leaves there, they become healthy.
Exactly. Exactly.
I believe this guy needs to be fired. I really do. Like, this guy been there for 16 years and have not made one player healthy on that roster.
Wow.
2009 is the only year I can remember New Orleans being healthy. The only year.
Yeah. And well, yeah, really in 2010, 2011, but we got suckered by the NFL and Jim, got off a deal with that stupid suspensions and stuff. But yeah, Delvin Breaux, man. And here's the thing that burns me up about how the Saints handled this whole situation. This is not an injury that he just had in preseason and fall camp. He has been hurt for the last 3 years. You have not prepared yourself or put yourself in a situation where you can afford to lose this guy.
But that comes to tell you how bad the medical staff is. I remember Jamal Mashburn came to New Orleans on the NBA side, and he was complaining about how bad the medical staff was. You look at people like Anthony Davis; these guys have lingering injuries that shouldn't be lingering.
Yeah.
Look at Eric Gordon. I mean, I believe that Chris Paul. I like that trade with getting a young Eric Gordon, but the guy barely played because he had the worst medical staff team it's probably in the world.
Wow.
Get this guy healthy to play. So if you don't have a good medical staff to keep these guys up to party, what you paying them guys for?
Yeah, good point. Good point, Trey.
15 years, let's talk tomorrow. Okay, my man.
All right.
I got to get off the line, but I'll definitely call in tomorrow.
Yeah, we gotta have that debate tomorrow. And I tell you what, this is a good warm up for it too. Woo!
I'll be prepared, Bob. I have a fact.
All right, you gotta bring it, Jared. You gotta bring it. All right, Jared, take it easy. But you know what, Victory? You bring out a good point. I guess you could say a good part of success for a lot of these teams that are traditionally winning is having a good training staff to keep the players healthy, right? And part of being healthy is, I guess you could say, prevention, health prevention, injury prevention as well, huh?
You have to, because you're looking at, look at the offensive line. And I look over the league, and injuries is a point, because I play sports. And injuries, a lot of people who look at medical, you got to have a good quality medical staff team. Man, New Orleans been hit with so much small injuries that become season-ending injuries. I've never seen this in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Linemen get hurt, and most teams will be able to get them players back right. New Orleans, that guy be out for them. Anybody that, let's just put it like this, anybody that becomes hurt for New Orleans in the preseason, they out for the season. I never saw it. Never saw that for one team at the same. They're the only one that a player to get hurt, and he's out for the whole year.
Yeah.
Medical staff to me, they do not know what they're doing. I mean, come on, this guy's been on this team for 16 years.
Yeah.
Out of 16 It's up to the player to stay healthy, but it's what you get paid for. And you used to tell me out of 16 years, you can't keep. We have the same player. Even the linebacker, what's his name is? T.O., the guy we brought in.
Yeah, Mantateo, yeah.
You can't even keep this guy healthy. Like, I just have to, Sean Payton has to sit down and, like, really wonder should we get another staff pickup. Because that's bad. That's bad. And they got a lot of guys off guarantees. We don't look at it like that because we look at New Orleans, the city, or I guarantee you a lot of those players, when they come in for free, I guarantee you a lot of those players this season is probably be out. Man, they don't have a good medical staff team.
Good point.
And they don't want to come there. A player wouldn't be feeling like if something happens to him, he's okay. He's going to be team. You don't have no faith there like that. Because the first time he get hurt, he track working and everybody that get hurt with their team is out.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting up here like, I mean, when they going to start, we talk about the coaches, special teams, and how when we going to start throwing that flag, that medical staff team is like, hey, we need to make some noise down there.
Man, good point. Good point. I you know what? I never thought about that. I never thought about that, Victor, and that's an excellent point because I think there's a lot of reason why the Saints are mediocre where they at because they can't keep the best players healthy.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right, and the guy came in 2000. And I remember before 2000, we might have been suck, but we never had injury problems. And to get this guy take over, 16 years to get this guy take over, New Orleans was injury bug ever since.
Yeah.
Everybody they get, they could never keep him healthy. Everybody. And when I realized this, I said, man, this guy's been on this staff for 16 years. You can tell me nobody noticed that? Like, that's when it's kind of becoming. But you know what? Tom Benson, granddaughter, what's her name, was Rita. She was coming to fix all this stuff, though. You know, and then she got into a little trouble, and, you know, I owe that whole Super Bowl to that woman. That whole Super Bowl, I dedicated to her because to me, she was the one that was really out there making the noise. She was the one recruiting Darren Sharper now.
Yeah.
But, you know, she wasn't with him. And, you know, Tom Benson, for whatever personal reason, you know, and now New Orleans, to me, New Orleans not getting better. I see them going back to where they used to be. They ain't. And I love them, but I don't see them getting better. It's too much problems down. It's too much off the field distractions. It's too much mediocre coaching, you know.
Yeah.
Breeze should have been gone 2 years ago. You know,
Well,
we're still holding on for glory years, but it's time to groom a new quarterback.
Yeah. And you know what? I think the team, you know, I'm only 39 years old, so you know, I'm pretty sure there are a lot more people out there that's watched a lot more football than me. But I'm gonna tell you what, the one team that had the smoothest transition from an older quarterback to a younger quarterback was the Green Bay Packers. They drafted Aaron Rodgers out of Cal. They let him sit behind Brent Favre, I guess maybe 2 years, 3 years. By the time Brent Favre had retired or whatever, he got traded to Minnesota, whatever it was he did, Aaron Rodgers was pretty much ready. He had his growing pains still, but you look at where he's at right now.
I'm not knocking Drew Brees. I like him, and you know, he should be in the Hall of Fame with me. But the only thing I'm saying is the guy makes too much money, and if you're not going to have a defense that can get him over that hump, then I think you should have cut ties with him 2 years ago because you could have started building all around the board.
Yeah.
Your money tied up with one player, so when Drew Brees actually leaves, what's out there in the market for you to really get? It's nothing because you should have been building, you know, right now. But you have, and even with the draft, they took an offensive lineman in. I don't even want to talk about that, you know. But
Yeah.
it just, to me, overall, they need to just blow it up and start over. But as long as Tom Benson, the owner, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. You know, it's not because he's a little short, beat them so much that it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna deal with. I'm telling you, we're gonna deal with mediocre with New Orleans for a few years. It's not gonna get better. I like Andrew Pearson. I think he's gonna change the game for the Saints, but
They ain't gonna help him on he ain't gonna help him on defense.
I tell you what, I hate Atlanta. I hate Atlanta to the bone. But I can guarantee you one thing, and I thought I would never say this in my life. I don't think New Orleans gonna be able to play on the same field as Atlanta this year.
Whew.
Defense and offense a while. I just don't see it. Them
Yeah, I hate to admit it too, but yeah, you're right. When you
It looks like a
Yeah.
LSU football team, defense and offense side of the ball. They
yeah,
really
yeah
do.
especially on that defense. Especially on the defense with Beasley, Deion Jones. Then you got Duke Riley. But Jalen Collins, I think he's going to be out for 10 games. But yeah, I hate to admit it too. The Falcons did it right. You know, and when you really think about New Orleans and Atlanta, for a long time they was both identical. Score a lot of points, but give up a lot of points. But when they got that coach from Seattle, whatever Dan Quinn, whatever his name is, he addressed that defensive side of the ball. And that's what we don't have in New Orleans. Somebody that can address the defensive side of the ball. We don't have that in New Orleans. Sean Payton, he's going to make sure he makes that offense good. Sean Payton going to make sure he has the players to score 40 points a game. But he doesn't make sure that he has the defensive players to hold teams to under 10, 15 points.
And that's what's scary. I mean, you got good 2, 3 running backs, but they got 3, 4, 5 good linebackers that can run. They got and so they come from one of the best teams in the SEC. So we're gonna see, we're gonna really see. But I just don't. I see New Orleans probably win. At first, I gave them a higher win percentage. I thought they was gonna win. I think they was gonna win the division probably, but that Duke Riley changed me a lot. He changed me a whole lot when they come in. Don't forget they got that defensive lineman out of Kansas.
Yeah. I forget his name. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so they only did what New England did. They only added and made this year better this year. So
Yeah.
it's hard for me to just. I want to give New Orleans that they're gonna win the division, but when I really sat down and looked at it, I see no more than 7 wins. They're shocked me, because I'm a huge Banks fan. They're shocked me, but I just don't. I don't see it's too much. New Orleans got too much. They got too many problems. Trying to keep up with either Atlanta or Tampa Bay this year is my pick to win that division.
Okay.
One of them.
Well, you know what, man, you know what, Vic. Before the Cleveland preseason game, I was making the point saying that the good thing is that the Saints don't face maybe but 2 teams that have power offenses. That's New England and Atlanta. Everybody else is average to good. But after watching that Cleveland preseason game, and you letting these mediocre players throw on you like that, it's going to be hard for me to pick the Saints in a lot of games. It really is.
They're going to regret trading Cooks. I'm telling you. I think they let Michael. I'm ready for Thomas, but they try to groom him just like they groomed it on our other receivers who just left.
Who steals?
What's his name? We just let go when I was Marcus Colston. Remember the year Joe Horn was good, but they brought Marcus Colston in?
Oh, yeah. The guy that got from Tennessee. I remember he went to college in Tennessee. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I forgot his name too.
Yeah, Michael Thomas for New Orleans.
Yeah.
Remember the year we had Joe Horn, come in and Marcus Colston coming in.
Yeah.
And you thought Marcus Colston was ready. Why he was ready? He showed up, but you let Joe Horn go. And they did the same thing with this year with Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks. Okay, you're thinking Michael Thomas ready, so you let Brandon Cooks, instead of just building on talent, they'll cut talent and just groom the young guys, and that's why New Orleans is in the same position every year. Because when you do have these elite players, you will cut them. Darren Sproles, Jimmy Graham. You have these guys, you cut them before they can even get to the next level because you think you got another negative. He's not even up for an average. He's just average. I mean, Marcus Colston, I don't even think he ever made a Pro Bowl.
Well, yeah. Well, the good thing about Marcus Colston is that he did come in, he did produce. He was pretty much the man. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler. Yeah. I mean Hall of Famer, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Man, we're gonna see, man. We're just gonna see. We're gonna, give it a more, give a few more weeks, but I mean, I'm a diehard Cowboy now, you know.
Oh, Vic, it's time. Okay, Vic. All right, we know you're a Cowboys fan, Vic. You ain't taking me off guard this time, like that one time you called into the show. You almost made me fall out of my seat. But yeah, we'll see. One thing, I mean, Cowboys fan, and you're a Cowboys fan, and maybe you can second the notion on this. Cowboys fans are not worried about that running game. They'll be just fine because of that big offensive line. Is that the way you feel too?
I think that's a huge problem. I think before the 6 weeks, if he gets this appeal, I think we could come out maybe win 4 games, maybe 4 games. We don't really play nobody but Green Bay, and we play the Giants. Without him, I think those 2 games we could possibly lose because you don't need him. Like he brings more than just running. He brings a lot of attention to the field. So without him, I mean, you know, I don't know what's going on with Dez Bryant right now. He's not the same player, so basically you got to depend on a quarterback. We don't have a defense.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
so
true.
I'm looking at maybe we lose them first. We're gonna definitely lose 2 games before we come back. Now what the rest is we can do, I don't know. Everybody's so talking about the offensive line, and people forgot we lost 2 good guys.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we're plugging them in with 2 other guys that we don't know nothing really about yet. You know, but to me, Cowboys just like the Saints. On the offense side of the ball and defense side of the ball, it's me right now.
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows what's really going on. Everybody laughing at the media trying to make it seem. No. I love the Cowboys, and I don't care what you got. Offensive line is all that is good, but trust me, the running backs you have, he gets special. That guy don't need a line to do that. What he do, he did that at Ohio State without a good line.
Yeah, yeah.
So, he's skilled regardless. Now, your other guys, like the Saints, you just going to have to wait and see, but I don't see us, we in trouble. Just put like this, we in trouble.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
in trouble too.
Oh, okay. Hey, Vic, man. Hey, I appreciate the call, and thank you for the warm-up for the debate tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this. Y'all got me pumped about this debate, man.
Yeah, let's get that on tomorrow, man. I'm definitely waiting on that.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, have a good evening, man.
All right, you too, man.
All right.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to go to some of the comments on the message board. So, Mike from Plaquemine. Hey, what's up, Mike? I apologize about missing your call. I had 2 people on the line at the same time. And so Mike says, looks like the Saints are unhappy with Delvin Breaux staying injured. Yeah, we addressed that. And basically, you know, here's the thing. You knew this man was hurt, but you didn't do anything to prepare the team for life or for football after Delvin Breaux. You passed up on a lot of good free agent cornerbacks. You didn't draft Trey White, and now you're in the situation that you're in. So Andrew Johnson says, question, Dave, if we don't make the playoffs again this season, do you see Drew Brees gone? No, I don't. I think Brees really loves New Orleans. I think Brees wants to retire as a Saint. I think he would probably give it 1 more year. I really do. Especially if the Saints come close to making the playoffs. I think Drew Brees would probably give it 1 more year. He still has a burning desire to play. And, you know, as long as he has a good offensive line and he still has that desire to play, I think he'll still be in New Orleans. Mike from Plaquemine, what's going on, Mike?
How you doing, player?
Well, I don't know. Lindsey Scott transferring. Now they're talking about trading Delvin Breaux. I don't know. I could have had better days, man.
Well, the thing with Delvin Breaux is, if you're going to sit there and, you know, I can see where the frustration from Peyton's coming from, because the Delvin Breaux saying I'm healthy, but then he doesn't get on the field, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to say you're healthy, get on the doggone field, you know?
Yeah.
And I can see where the frustration, you know, was Peyton saying, well, I'm going to trade you and all this stuff. I'm going to trade you. I'm going to get rid of you. You know, you're brought in here and paid very well to get on the field and play. So get on the field and play, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that, Mike. And maybe, you know, maybe this is Sean Payton's way of, you know, trying to wake up Delvin Breaux and say, hey, you better play or we're going to get rid of you. Maybe this is just something to kind of make him wake up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. sometimes it doesn't work, you know. And sometimes you're just going to have to cut bait with a guy, even though he played well the last couple of years. And that's the thing. I mean, you got Damian Swamp played pretty well, you know, and so did P.J. Williams.
Uh-huh.
So, and so, King Crawley played pretty good. So, you know, those three guys can keep on improving, and Delvin Rowe is pulling this up. Well, I'm heard, and he's running away from reporters in the parking lot going the other way and going as fast as he can, even though he says he's hurt, then, you know, what can you do about it? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
what's your choice?
Well, you know what, Mike, and you're being a lot more optimistic and a lot more, I guess you could say, you know, a lot more given about the abilities of our corners after Delvin Breaux. Me personally, I don't see what you see. I just don't. When your corners are you know, pass interference on the receiver, still pass the ball. That's like double bad, you know. But maybe you see something I don't. I think in time the season will play out, but I just don't see anything from none of these receivers. I don't see a number one corner on the Saints football team. I really don't. I don't think no corner on the Saints football team will be a number one nowhere else in the NFL.
You'd like to see a number one corner, but then again, here's the deal. If what we saw out of the pass rush on last week is going to be a full season-long thing, and we get a consistent pass rush, then we may not need a number one corner because we're not going to have to cover the other guys for 4 to 5 to 6 seconds because Muhammad and the rest of the boys are going to get to the guy before then, you know?
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to, because if they don't, it's going to be it's going to be lights out. I remember one play in that Cleveland preseason game. It was one defensive play where the Saints brought both safeties through the blitz, and the quarterback threw a slant pass, and it was easily a 15-yard play just right there. Now, what the defensive coordinators, what they teach their quarterbacks, you know the defense. You know that you're going to blitz the safeties. You got to play the technique to stop the slant because they're not going to go deep. You ain't going to have time to go deep. You got to stop the slant. You got to play technique to stop the slant, and they didn't do it. And that's a concern.
Yeah, it is a concern, but we've got a couple of more, you know, we got a few more preseason games to correct this and see what happens. And the thing is like I said, Delvin Breaux, be damned if these other guys keep improving. You know?
So Delvin Breaux, is he going to? How long is he going to be out? Is it going to be a long time for him to be out?
They're talking about it being maybe a deep tissue thing or something with the tissue and stuff. Where he can't. He can run forward, but he can't backpedal with enough pressure on the leg to be worthy of anything. But if he's, like I said, if he's running away from guys, from reporters in the parking lot to his car in his civilian clothes, you know, then something's up there, you know.
Yeah.
Either he's lying about his injury and he just doesn't want to be here, or, you know, or something's up. I don't know which is which, you know. Now, as far as he goes, you know, thing is, you know, and as I was looking at those quarterbacks on Cleveland and seeing the one that hurt us the most was Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser. Yeah, but you know what? He's going to actually be pretty good. Kaiser. Yeah, for him to come in that pressure situation and lead them on that last drive like that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Osweiler doesn't impress me not a bit.
Uh-huh.
So I just don't know if he's gonna. Kaiser may come in there and end up beating that guy out, and that's no joke there. But as far as you're right. We've got good offensive people on the Saints, and we've got we seem to have improved a little bit up front, in a defensive line situation. And look, I still like Anzalone. I think he has a decent shot of being a starter as weak side linebacker.
Yeah, let's just hope that he can stay on the field.
Yeah, let's just hope. And that's the thing there. Like they said, we know what we got. He's an offensive coach, and he's going to do whatever it takes to make Drew Brees happy and keep Drew Brees upright.
Uh-huh.
And we could have had Fred White, and we could have had a bunch of other people in free agency, but he brings in, Corey Fuller, who's another guy that we haven't seen on the field yet, and a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's been hurt and all this stuff, and a bunch of other guys that not Warford, but the other offensive lineman that they brought in that a week later they got rid of because he was hurt,
Yeah.
So it's not just Joe and Bro that they've made mistakes on this year. It's 2 or 3 or 4 other guys, and you just can't be making mistakes on 7 guys.
Yeah. Amen.
Perfect position on this roster is important, and they keep saying, "Well, every position is important, including the final 3 or 4 positions, because those are going to be guys that are going to be playing almost every special teams play." So he gets rid of the other kicker, and he brings in another guy to play special teams, but he refuses to do anything about Delvin Breaux.
Yeah, it's true. Wow, good point, Mike. Well, Mike, I'm already overtime, so man, hey, thank you for being patient and calling into the show, man. Good stuff as always.
All right.
Yeah, good points by Mike. Let's go to the message board. Andrew Johnson said, "If Delvin Breaux's leg is really screwed up, we are in trouble with our cornerback situation." Yes, we are screwed big time. Definitely, we are screwed big time. Andrew Johnson also said, "Mike, did you see that goofball Grayson fumbled the ball on the 10 after we stopped the Browns on 4th down?" Yeah, I don't know. Yes, he should have held on to the ball tightly, but also give credit to the lineman from Cleveland, on a hustle play as well. So, but quite frankly, I think Grayson, is going to be the quarterback that's going to be cut out of all the cornerbacks for the New Orleans Saints. So we'll just see how things go. Oh, before I go, let me give a special shout out to my boys over there at Designer Life Engineering. These guys right here, hey, patent drawings. They could do patent drawings for you. They could do product design. They could do drawings that get your product made. They could do shop drawings, assembly drawings. They can do pretty much any kind of engineering work that you want it done. So, hey, look them up on Facebook. Search Designer Life Engineering. Look at some of the work they've done. They do a lot of good stuff with keychains, man cave signs, stuff like that. I showed y'all my man cave sign. Love it to death. So give these boys a shout out and let them do some work for you. Do some engineering work for you. But yeah, as far as Mike Plackman said, I do like NASA. Yeah, NASA shows some toughness and he showed toughness and patience. And I think those are just, 2 good qualities the greats have. Toughness and patience, So I like NASA too. I think NASA is probably going to wind up being the 3rd string quarterback. Yep, he sure will be. So I'm just going to say, hey, thank everybody for watching the show. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, Michael Plackman. Thank you, Andre Johnson. Thank you, Peter Beatty, B. Bennett Bass, Monroe Horton, Joe Lawrence. Thank you all for being a part of the Sports Den Show. Because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't have nobody to talk to on camera. Point blank and simple, right? So I want to say thank you everybody for watching. And tomorrow we gonna have it, the debate. You heard a little snippet of it this evening. We got a little warmed up for it with Jared the Trail. I think I had to stop it because we didn't want that thing to get too hot. But we will have a debate tomorrow. I'm going to have 2 other guys that's going to join in the panel as well. You don't want to miss tomorrow's show. And Andrew Johnson said, David, tell guys about September 1st. September 1st, Andrew Johnson is going to have, I guess he's going to have a draft for his fantasy football league. So if you see him on Facebook, be sure to go join him at the venue that he's going to have, and you know, he'll fill you in all the details. So let's see here. How do I want to go out this evening? I guess I'm going to go out on Drew Brees. You know, hey, I'm going to tell you something. When Drew Brees retires from the Saints, they have got to have his pregame chant played over the loudspeakers. They have to. This is one of the best pregame chants in history. Whether it be in the movies or in real life football, this is the best pregame chant in history.
We just gotta do what we do. We play like we play.
We be
special.
I don't know what will.
We finish strong. Yes, from the top.
Yes, sir. We're black and gold. That's what we say, baby. It's like what we say to the nation, but we can say you just like. We're going to be saying that's real. I am your host, David King. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. You're relaxing at home. Get plenty of rest. Wake up tomorrow refreshed. And we're going to do it again. Don't forget tomorrow to debate. Who is the better coach in the facility? Next mile or next day?
Leave your blue, black, who that? Black and gold team, New Orleans, yeah, who that? Feed a teaspoon of defeat, yeah, who that? Drop out straight through the breeze, yeah, who that?
We gonna let Jackson first.
We done drunk it all, who that? It gets so loud in my house, the quarterback had to call a timeout. I'm back, what?
Hey, yo, the Saints is gon' win it. Go Super Bowl and let's kill it. We don't care what team or what city. So we don't care what team or what city.
To get that ring, punch through the heart of New Orleans. Saints go hard and the y'all go home. Saints go hard in the Superdome. Lights out, game over, and your team can't hold us. So we say better luck next time. Said I'm in my same city, doing the best in boogie. Said I'm in my same city, doing the best in boogie. Said I'm in my same city, everything's all goody. Yeah, we just scored a touchdown, my drinks on footy. And where we at, we in that dome, in that zone, in that zone. This our home, and the Saints our team. New Orleans! Who that city gon' be New Orleans? Go marching all night. Who that city gon' be New Orleans? Beat New Orleans, beat New Orleans. New Orleans Saints, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. New Orleans Saints, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. Go, go, go Saints, go, 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 go Saints, go.
In New Orleans, the heart of the city's in the Superdome. We wear black and gold, and we make you say,
Who that say, watch how we stop clowns. Bludgeon foes get exposed till they blue black. Get your team blue back. Partner, this is who that. Nation of made men, we survivalists. Blazing man, obvious competition, move back. Certainly, flirtily, held high. Murder these 30 degrees, heard a breeze, sell 'em